welcome to another interesting segment on Home Truth Nigeria. So today I'd like to talk on the topic the rise of romance scam in Nigeria. So in case you don't know, there's a huge rise in romance scam in my beloved country of Nigeria. It's very sad to say, but I must say it because there are millions of Nigerians who are totally against romance scam. There are Nigerians who know that this does not represent what we stand for as Nigeria, a country that is forged, through discipline, love, hard work, and also the fear of God. And that's why I can tell you that a lot of Nigerians don't agree or support romance scam. Now, years back when I was in Nigeria, romance scam wasn't a thing. Scamming wasn't a thing. Of course, we know some set of people did scam or what we call 419. Now, for those of you who don't know, 419 was actually or is actually a criminal code section in Nigeria, which is called Section 419. That's, penalizes anyone who is involved in any form of scam, obtaining money or anything through force pretense. That also deals with romance scam. Now, back to my story. Now, those years in Nigeria, an average Nigerian has two paths to success. He either goes through academics or maybe he goes through trade. These are the two ways an average Nigerian would aim to achieve success. For whatever road the Nigerian man takes, the dynamics is to work hard. And this is why when you meet an average Nigerian, Nigerians are very, very hard working and also intelligent. How however, we are experiencing a huge decline in the economy of Nigeria that has been brought about by corrupt politicians and mismanagement of fund. This has kept the country in a deep state of recession. Economically, the country is undergoing a very huge level of recession, the highest is since the history of Nigeria, if I'm not mistaken, that has left food items and other basic necessities difficult, to buy in the market. Things are getting more and more expensive, and yet the citizens are not having an increase in salary because of the increase in recession. So definitely people are thinking, what do we do to survive? A lot came to a conclusion after forecasting the economical state of Nigeria that it might take a long time before the Nigerian economy may bounce. I mean, if eventually would bounce. So therefore, one possible way to survive is through immigration. To immigrate to another country that gives a chance of survival and also allows you to help your struggling family back home, which basically is not a bad idea. Immigration has been in existence with mankind for thousands of years. One thing mankind does whenever you experience difficulty or famine, as they say in the olden times, was to immigrate to a place so you can survive. Our ancestors did it. Some of you in the States, in the UK, in Canada, a lot of you, your ancestors immigrated to these places, Australia, and you were born there. So immigration has actually been with mankind. However, to immigrate is not that easy. Immigration is not that easy because it involves money and a lot of paperwork because it doesn't just come free. So this means a lot of people might eventually get disqualified. Now, because of this, the JAPA syndrome came to existence in Nigeria. What does the JAPA syndrome mean? So this basically means running away from a place of trouble. Is Nigeria under trouble? Yes. Economy recession. A lot of people see it as trouble. It's a need to run. It's a time to flee because a lot have seen the way the country is going. They've looked at the trajectory and they understand that things might only keep getting worse and worse. Although there are families in Nigeria who are happy to stay in Nigeria because for them, this is the only country they have. They stay here, come what may. They don't want to travel. They are not interested. But then you have those who like, no, I deserve better. I want to travel, if not for me, but at least for my children or unborn children, to give them the opportunity to a better life. So what they do is that they immigrate. They go to a land or a country where they feel they can reach their full potential in life, or a land where they feel they would have a lot of opportunity, to work and live a life worthy of their working, and also to allow them to assist the family back home. So this JAPA to run, it's not easy to achieve. That's where the problem is. So there are three ways to go about this, to the best of my knowledge. Now, the first one is through skilled immigration, study immigration, and the third one is romance scam. These three direction would lead you to fleeing from the country. Now, if you look at skilled immigration, you have a lot of skilled Nigerians in Nigeria, men and women who are very skilled in different fields and areas of life, and some of them feel they deserve better, and what they want is to immigrate with their country to a place where they can reach their potential and actually enjoy the benefit of their hard work. So what they do is that they immigrate. Now, for a skilled to immigrate through skilled immigration doesn't come easily as well, because the first thing is you need to be qualified. Aside from the fact that you need to be qualified, you need to have money, and there are a lot of paperwork. So the truth is that a lot of people, these people first of all start by making sure they are qualified, spend money a lot, spend up all their savings. Some even have to sell properties compiled with the paperwork, and then they move out of the country. The next way to immigrate is through the study immigration. Now, these guys are not skilled, but they have a qualification in the sense that they are somewhat educated and they want to go to the next level. But one thing is this: they have the money to do so. So they seek admission in a school in North America, in USA. They get admission, they go for the visa, they get the visa aced, visa stamped, approved, and the next thing they are traveling. However, the study immigration route is also not easy because it requires money for the tuition, a lot of paperwork as well, and also you need money for flights and also accommodation because you're not going to hang on air when you come to the country. So now, having seen this too, study immigration and skilled immigration. What happens when a Nigerian man is desperate to leave the country? He's not skilled, meaning he is not qualified for skilled immigration. He might be educated, but he doesn't have the money to go about paying the tuition. What happens if he's desperately in need to immigrate? Well, it is very simple. He goes through the final route, which is romance fraud. And this is one way to also leave Nigeria. When you can't get the skilled immigration, the study immigration, one way you can also leave is through romance fraud. Now, what happens the moment you've seen it like, look, I don't have the money to do all of this, but hey, I'm a young man, I'm a little bit good looking, I got complete set of dates, I got a new dread. What do I do? It's very simple. They go into romance scam. So what the person does is, first of all, he goes through a period of coaching. He's coached on how to scam. Yes, people who have encountered success in this, they coach him. What they do is they teach him how to identify victims. So he either comes with a fake account where he comes as a white male, trying to look for a lady. A lot of you have experienced this. Or he comes to you on a dating site with his true identity. They have a target range. The target range is mostly mature ladies, women with kids, and women who are older than them. They look for this target range. And then the moment they get this target range and they are so well coached, the next thing is they go and start navigating how to use you independently because they experienced now after coaching. So they start working on their clients, which is you independently. So the moment they get you, the clients, maybe one, two, three of you, because 99% of the time they're not talking to you alone, they're talking to other women. They're talking to other women because in case one of you decide to be stubborn, they just would shift their attention gradually to another one. Basically, not to put all your eggs in one basket. So they talk to you, and the moment they get you as the client and they start love bombing you, the next thing is you know, you start spending money, you send money to him. Either you send money for upkeep, for rent, medicals, emergency, whatever the case is, while he awaits your coming to Nigeria to marry him. And if you're older, which is always the target, you will have to send money. For you to be talking to a younger guy and you older, you have to send money directly or indirectly. A man who is young enough to be your son, you will send money, whether you like it or not. Now, the next thing is you are coerced one way or the other. You come to Nigeria to visit, and then you are flying everywhere with him or traveling everywhere with him with your own money, of course. So what he does is that he only documents the traveling, the trip, the nice time with his phone, like somebody who works with CNN or Al Jazeera. Everything is your money, not his. Now, during that trip, they make sure they push you with love, they push you with lovely coercion, if there's anything like that. And then they propose to you and they bring it to your knowledge that you guys should get married. Some of you are talking to Nigerian men, few months already, they are pushing you to come down to marry them. That's juju. That's voodoo. It's not normal. So the next thing, you come down to Nigeria, you marry him, and then you go back to your country to start the visa process. I mean, to bring your man in Nigeria, and while you back in your country, you know, filing for the visa for him to come, spousal visa, you still spending money. And this is very, very possible only when you're dating these men who are way younger than you. Because 99% of the chance when you encounter a Nigerian man way younger than you, 99% of the chance is that you're with a romance scammer. 99, I didn't say 90, 99% of the chance you're with a romance scammer. Now, you need to understand something about romance scammers. Romance scammers are very sweet, they are unique and fun. They're very sweet. They're so sweet that they make you get so addicted. A lot of you have spiritual diabetes, diabetes type 1, type 2, because you've consumed so much sweetness of this your Nigerian man. You're not diabetic. Oh yes, they are very, very sweet. It's difficult, very difficult to break up from them. A lot of you, you've broken up, you find yourself coming back to them. You know why it's very difficult for you to break up with them? It's because they are coached. They are coached on how to talk to you, how to act to you. They know what to say to you. They have a manual on how to relate to you. You're like an electronics that is bought with a manual. You go to the manual, step one, plug it on the socket, get it charged. Make sure when you're switching it off is well plugged. That's who you are. So they've studied you like a manual. So they know what to say, how to get you and everything. So that's why it's very difficult for you to lose your grip, lose their grip from you. It's very difficult because they've been coached. They know words to say to Western women. They know words with a little bit of seriousness attached to, when you're saying it, and add small gaslighting inside of it, and then sound like you're emotional, you're heartbreaking, you want to cry. And they know the Western lady will like, oh my God, Jim didn't speak to me this way. Tom, Tyron, Jake, Chuck never spoke to me this way. But this guy, I could feel he was literally crying. He wasn't crying. No, he wasn't doing all these things because he loves you. These things are all staged. They are taught. It's acting. They teach them how to make you understand that he is really serious about you, whereas he is not serious. They are coached. And that is how they get you, because an average romance scammer is very dramatic. How do you catch someone who came to you as a white man, later comes back with a real identity, and you think he's real? Or you've caught a romance scammer talking with other women, and he like, oh, I've changed, I've changed, I've changed. And you think it's just at the snap of your finger, he's changed. Come on. The true intention does not leave. What is happening is that this dude is just putting up another facade to get what he wants. And that is what romance fraud is. And it is so high now with the youth because they are very much interested to leave the country. And it's important for you to understand that an average Nigerian man does not go online to look for a wife, to look for a partner. Nigerians don't go on dating sites to look for a wife or to look for a partner. It's very important for you to know Nigerians could meet their partner online, but it wasn't their intention. You could be on social media and something happens out of the ordinary and you just start talking to a lady, and the next thing you guys click and you in love. And this is what romance scam is all about. And the moment you see yourself, you're talking to a Nigerian man and you're paying his rent, you're sending money for his upkeep. It's not love. You're a victim. You're a client. You're being scammed. It is romance scam. And the moment you find yourself in that situation, just know that the person you with is a romance scammer, not your lover. A lady said this after being proposed to under 6 months, flew down to Nigeria, married. The Nigerian man left her immediately after marriage. So the truth is, try not to be a target. I don't care what or how he makes you feel. I don't care what his family has told you. I don't care whatever thing you've done or how far you guys have gone. The point is, you are a target. You're a client. If you're older, you're sending money, you're paying rent and everything. You're not in love. You're being used. You're dealing with a romance scammer. I don't care what it is. I really don't care. The truth is, why is it that you would never find an older Western female with an educated, skilled Nigerian man? Why don't you find them with these Nigerian men who are so educated and skilled? Why can't you find these older women with Nigerian men who have never asked them for money before or pushing them to get married? Because it doesn't exist. Because these men know it is culturally inappropriate to go date a woman who can give birth to you. It doesn't happen in Nigeria. Show me where it's happening in Nigeria. So what makes you think you're unique? It is romance scam. So the moment you find yourself in that situation, you're being scammed. You don't know. So, guys, as always, you can write me on home336 at gmail.com. If you want to discuss if you actually been scammed, I'm open to have this discussion with you. So, you can follow my reactional channel. I will post the link in the description and the comments so you can click on it and support my channel. As always, guys, like, share, subscribe. Home Nigeria, peace out. Stay out of scammers.